Today I would like to talk to you about the life of prisoners and how being locked up so long could change them in many ways. Three main ways being lost sight of who they are, change in character and personality, and also suffering from anxiety and depression. The first point I would like to talk to you about is lost sight of who they are. And with that, I have the Stanford Prison Experiment. The Stanford Prison Experiment was an experiment conducted in 1971 by a psychology professor by the name of Philip Zimbardo. Philip Zimbardo took 14 volunteers off of the streets and made 7 guards and 7 prisoners. The guards were to act like guards and the prisoners were to act as prisoners, of course. But in that time, the guards let the power kind of get to their head, and they started to treat the prisoners more like animals than humans. They wouldn't let them bathe regularly, they wouldn't let them get out of their cells regularly, or they wouldn't feed them regularly. And with that, the prisoners started to act as animals, like they were treated. They started to be more aggressive and hostile towards themselves, the other prisoners, and also other guards. So the experiment was supposed to last 14 days, was cut short after it got way out of hand. And the next point that I would like to talk to you about is change in character and personality. Just like the first slide I was talking to you about, the first point, lost sight of who they are. Whenever they lose sight of who they are, it changed their personality and it changed their character. They no longer see who they were before they got in there. So with them being behind bars, they have to be aggressive, they have to stand 10 toes down, and they always have to look around to make sure no one's trying to sneak up on them or anything. And having to live like that automatically makes someone wants to always be hostile. So with that, we have another point, which is suffering from anxiety and depression. Most prisoners suffer from anxiety and depression because being locked up in small rooms, looking around, seeing the people that you're around with kind of discourages you. You don't get to talk to family regularly like you would want to, and you also think about the crime you committed. Most prisoners really think they do not belong in prison, so they think that the crime that they did was not like them, which makes them go into deep thought about it, which could lead to them being suicidal and more things. So prisoners being locked away in little rooms like that, they have nothing but time to think and be in their thoughts. Have you ever been actually locked into your thoughts and couldn't get out? Could you imagine doing that for years at a time? I would like to conclude this speech with a quote from Franklin D. Roosevelt. Men are not prisoners of fate, but prisoners of their own minds. And with that, I would like to explain how step by step prisoners kind of lose their mind. First, they go in, they lose sight of who they are because they're in a whole different environment. Second, it starts to change them because they no longer know what they used to know, and they're living off of new ways, which then leads to the third point, suffering from anxiety and depression, or even maybe being suicidal. I thank you for your time and listening to me as I tell you about the life of prisoners. Hopefully one day, if you have to interact with someone who just got out of prison, a family member or anything else, it'll help you. Thank you and you have a great day.